Hello, beautiful people. It's Sinderfam. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video from the Whatever podcast. Let's check it out.
Going back to what I was saying though, so don't you think we should be slut shaming though?
What I was saying to
Like
answer your
imagine,
question.
okay, imagine though. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
So what I was saying to answer your question is, in order for a slut to feel shamed, a majority of people would have to make what they do something to be shameful about. That same slut may not feel shame and may feel realization that what they're doing is wrong. Another person will find maybe religion and see that what they're doing is wrong. But what I was saying is, as far as slut shaming, you could do that, or you can, like what you guys do is show different things that they could be doing as well, like working at McDonald's, like you say, or doing this. These are gentle ways to deter women from being sluts, I guess.
Okay. Word? Did you have more?
Why do people try shaming people for doing things? Like, right? You're like, we're slut shaming. This guy's saying whatever the hell he's saying.
Why would you shame people for being murderers? That's insane.
What happened?
Why would you do that?
Shaming
Why would you
people?
shame people for being murderers?
Where did murderers come from? I just
Yeah,
said.
but why would you shame people
I'm
for being
discussing. I'm discussing. Just like, I don't understand why people have to shame people for doing what they're doing individually. Like,
Yeah,
I
I know,
could
but
shame.
you
I could
can
shame you for
individually-
like whatever work she's doing. I could shame her for being on.
Yeah.
This guy could shame
Yeah.
me for trying to have my industry. We could shame sluts. We could shame murderers. But at the end of the day, what we really should be trying to focus on is like everyone's individual selves.
What? Yeah, but what if your individual
What?
self is... Well, hang on. What if your individual self is a murderer? Can we shame that?
By this is when you do these things that I don't understand. You're trying to put it together and it's not adding up. The murderers we have to shame.
you're trying to
The
anticipate.
murderers we should shame. Yes, we should shame those
Yeah.
people. Of course. You
Why?
cannot-
Why should we shame them?
Because they're
Why should we
killing
shame them?
people.
Yes, and that's bad, right?
Is it? Is it? Tell me. Is it?
Well, I mean, I'm asking from your worldview. That's bad, right? To kill people, it's bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I agree. So then socially shaming murderers is good because it reduces murder, right?
But again,
Like if we told everybody who went out and murdered somebody, "Oh, you're great, you're awesome, you should kill more people," do you think more people would die or less people would die?
that's such a. It's just it's a different way to think, and I don't think it's gonna get you. It's not gonna get anywhere
Yeah, I know,
progressive
but
quick.
can you just listen to my question? Hang on. Don't anticipate where it's going. Just listen to it, right? If everybody ran around to everybody who was a murderer and said, "You go, that's awesome, kill more people," do you think that people would kill more people or less people?
I don't think the murderer is really gonna give a. He's gonna kill whoever he wants to kill.
Do you think that if we ran around
sorry.
telling murderers that's great that you murdered people, that they would kill less people or more people?
Do you see a lot of murderers during the day? Each day, do you see a lot of murderers?
No, because I think they're socially shamed, and there's laws against it, and there's social shaming and stigma and all sorts of things. But I'm saying if we got rid of the stigma against murder, we said, "Wow, you killed somebody last night who didn't deserve it? Awesome." Do you think that there would be more or less of that behavior?
I get what you're saying. Yes, psychologically, you could f somebody up that way. Yeah, or
Yeah,
not. I shouldn't say that. I should say you
so
you can
then that
manipulate
behavior
somebody's
we should-
emotions like that. Yeah, that's very bad
Yeah.
thing to do.
So then social behavior, which we think is bad, we should shame because then there's going to be less of it, right?
The only thing I want to shame would be killing people, things of that nature. I wouldn't want to
Yeah, yeah.
shame
Well, you
somebody
wanna
for
shame things you
being
think are
different than
bad.
me, though. So
Yeah,
it's
but you wanna
completely two
shame
different
things you
things.
think are bad.
It's completely two different
Like-
things.
Now, this is the problem, and this is what we need to or we have to deal with in the society. Before now, people know right from wrong, and people know if they do something wrong, they're gonna be shamed for it, and there are consequences, humiliation, and whatnot. So they're not gonna do it. And even though back then or before, when people were being shamed for or slut shamed or whatever, or shamed for sleeping with many people at once or at a time and making it like a thing. People were shamed for it. And at least for a moment, people respected and knew that to respect yourself enough, you're not supposed to engage into this activity or do this activity. And I mean, there was a control. But now with the fact where people want to be like, oh, you don't have to shame people for whatever they want to do, they can do whatever they want to do, their body, their choice, and whatever. Can we bring back shame so that people know that some activities or some things you're doing is shameful? Can we bring back shame? It is not too much to ask. And also, if you know right from wrong and you choose to do the wrong thing just because nobody freaking cares and the society deems it okay or deemed it okay to, and does not condemn people who do the wrong things. So, what does that say about you? Because I mean, you're telling the society that it's okay, there is no consequences for no action, nobody freaking cares, you can get away with things or you can do things and get away with. So, I mean, do all the wrong things or do the wrong things as you can because there is no consequences.
Like, look, here, I'll give you some more examples, right? Like a kid diddler, you'd want them shamed, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's going to reduce it, right? It's going to bring, yeah, right. So then if that is the case, if people want to see women or men be less promiscuous, then shaming promiscuity is going to bring the rates down. That's the idea behind shame.
I mean, I could agree with that. When it came out, we stopped shaming people, I guess, more so for it. It was more like it was a cool thing. It was a cool thing for that to be like ongoing. That's when because it's a
so
new
let's pretend. This is a great point you make, right? So let's pretend for a second that every person who's not on fans shamed and socially stigmatized everybody who was on fans. Do you think that more or less people would do it?
Well, people have. How do you feel about that? Because you're the one.
Hang on. Let me just ask you again. Think of every human being who exists in the world, every one of them who exists, and all of them shame women who are on fans, but they're not shaming women who are not on fans. Do you think more or less women would be on fans?
I think that's happening now, and whoever wants to be on is still on fans. They don't care. They're gonna make their money. They're going to make their money. They don't care who's saying what. I don't care who's saying what. If I want to be an and people are shaming me, I'm going to be an fans. I just don't want to, so I'm not doing that.
How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning?
Hungry.
Good answer.
And I want to clarify, I think shaming in some aspects is important. I'm not saying that people shouldn't shame. I'm saying that the basis of slut shaming is I would say a good percentage of what the show's about. And it's not necessarily a negative connotation that I'm saying. It's saying that it's like something that the show does, and I just want to amplify on that.
Can I ask you something? I've always wondered about this. I ask people about this all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe you'll give me a straight answer. I think you understand a lot of the things that I say. I seem to understand you pretty well. If the whole world, if all of the women in the world were just like complete over-the-top sluts, right? Skanks, slept with random guys all the time. Do you think the world would be a better or worse place?
Honestly, it may be for the better, because since you're aware of what women are doing, instead of them doing it secretly or not knowing their intentions, knowing can put you in a safer position. Like if you met a nice girl and you sleep with her, little do you know she has this huge body count, she has some type of disease. But if you know she's a slut, then it's like you'll take precautions to protect yourself more than people typically do without knowing. So this world is already a very sex oriented world already. Sex sells, so with that being said, if everyone quote unquote was sleeping around doing that, which we already are, knowing that will set you up better to be safer. So to answer your question.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I got this right. You think that the world would be a better place because then men would take more precautions with women?
Right, because they know what they're getting, which is a slut.
Now, instead of having to take precautions with women because they have STDs and things like this, wouldn't it be better if women weren't sluts and then we didn't have to take precautions because they didn't have STDs?
Okay, and that wasn't the question, but to answer that question was you should be safe
Well,
regardless.
then hang on. If that wasn't the question, then what is it that men are supposed to be looking for here, that if all women are sluts, they're taking precautions against if it's not STDs and pregnancy? Like, what are
Right.
the things?
So to answer your question with the same logic you had, if all men were murderers, then you'd take precaution not to get murdered.
Yes, I agree.
So with the same aspect, if all women are sluts, you'll take precaution to protect yourself against the things that you listed. Compared
Yeah, but what are those
to
things? What are those things that you would take precautions
STDs,
Yes.
Very important business.
Okay, STDs. Hang on. What else?
STDs, maybe unwanted pregnancies,
Unwanted pregnancies. Yes. What else?
toxic relationships that can, you
Okay,
know.
toxic relationships. Okay, so hang on. Let's just stop here.
Okay.
Hold on, is it just me or is the society itself making people go dumber? Because now, let's say for this case, if all women were supposed to be hypothetically, all women happen to be the S word, the SLUT, and it will make the world a better place or make the society a better place. That is her answer. That is insane. Insane. And this is the reason why we need to bring back shame in the society so people know right from wrong and know that what you're doing is wrong. So my question here is, if men happen to stop paying for OF or paying these OF girls, would they still engage in OF or would they still run to continue or would they still be in business? I mean the OF girls, will they still be in business? That's my question. But again, promiscuity is not the answer and it doesn't work. I think we need to bring back shame to the society and it's not too much to ask. Well, I would really love your thoughts in the comments down below. You can share the useful information I think might be really helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all of that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.